Are we live?
Yep.
Yep, now we are. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to Starting Out Solitary. My name's Amanda, and I hope you guys will enjoy us going live because it's supposed to be super fun, super awesome. We are going to be doing this every Saturday, I guess, following the sub-week, if that makes sense. And this week's topics, we are pretty much talking about herbs, crystals, and divination. Awesome. So I'm Amanda. You guys all know that. So, yeah. Next, Michelle.
And I'm Michelle, your Thursday host.
It's your go, Stephen.
Chicken child.
I'm Stephen. I'm sub. I was on Wednesday at sub week, and basically I'm around when anyone else needs me. So yeah, that's basically me. Tara?
I'm one of the Taras. Elliptica 24. I'm generally the regular Sunday host. I'm also the co-owner of Starting Out Solitary. And also, just a heads up, if you guys want to leave a comment, we'll refresh to see it because we're having issues with the chat and all that other stuff, obviously, since we're going a little late. So, yeah, hi.
But if we do leave a Q&A question, because I know on Google Plus they give you a Q&A section, and I will be watching that. So depending on where you're watching, either on Google Plus or YouTube, someone will see it. So if you guys leave a comment or something, we will get to it the best that we can. Okay. So now that we got all like the whole bunch of housekeeping stuff in order, I guess we're gonna start here with crystals. And crystals, stones, and metals and gems are valued in many witches' practices for healing properties, as well as their ability to channel energy and the powers of the crystals they are connected to the earth. Sorry, I totally messed that one up, but that's okay. I'm good. For them being connected to the earth, it gives them their healing powers. So I'm totally butchering it. I can't talk. I'm good. So anyways, we're going to talk about crystals. I guess I'll go first. And some of my favorite crystals are amethyst. And this one is actually my favorite one because it's a point. Amethyst, to me, it's mostly a stone for my Sagittarius sign. It also helps me with sleeping. I sleep with a lot of them underneath my pillow. Like, I get good benefits from that. I do. I really do, you guys. Like, I sleep with my amethyst crystal.
It's got to be uncomfortable.
No, like, I have it off, like, on my little desk. Like, I have if I sleep with a point, I'll have it pointing towards me or something like that. Or I stick it, like, in the corner of my pillowcase so it's not, like, directly underneath my head. So, I do sleep with my crystals. Yeah, that kind of sounds uncomfortable, but I definitely do that. So, but other than that, I like rose quartz. I'm not actually a really adamant, like, crystal user. I'm kind of just getting into them. So amethyst is probably my biggest one because I use it all the time. Also, I have a pendulum that's made of amethyst. I just really connect with amethyst, and that's pretty much where I would leave that.
Well, my favorite crystals, I also like amethyst a lot as well. But I've really been connecting with smoky quartz a lot lately because it's very grounding. And I just got this for my birthday, and I love it. I don't know if y'all can see.
Oh, that's really pretty.
That's pretty big.
I also wear smoky quartz every day to help keep me grounded and, you know, not all crazy. I also like snowflake obsidian a lot as well for its grounding properties. I also wear one of those too once in a while. I don't have it today.
You said that was snowflake obsidian, right?
Snowflake obsidian, yes. It has it keeps me grounded. And I also like rainbow fluorite.
That's pretty.
This is one I'll have with me too when I'm sleeping or in my pillow. As well as amethyst, I do that too. I like doing that. And I also do that with lapis. If I'm trying to do meditation work, I'll use lapis lazuli and amethyst. and rainbow fluorite, and those are currently my favorites. So
I have a hard time finding big lapis lazuli.
yeah,
very
mine
hard
are
to find.
small. I have
Yeah.
small ones, but yeah, those are the favorites for now.
Moving on to me, are we now?
Yes.
Well, kind of what I would describe as my favorite now, I actually bought today, and it's actually my birthstone. It's an emerald. It's just a small kind of smoothed thing, and I got that today. And to be honest, it's more because of the symbol it has, like, to me, in the fact that I was born in a time when it's linked to emeralds and things. But another thing I have that's not technically a gemstone is on my necklace. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of a small chunk of petrified wood, which I thought was a stone when I originally got it.
I feel like it.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of enjoy that. It kind of, I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, I think again because it's connection to kind of the earth and grounded and connected. So yeah, and those are
I
my
should probably
kind
get
of
myself some
favorites.
ground stuff too.
What was that?
I said I should probably get myself some grounding stuff. Like, I'm always sporadic, and like my husband
Yeah, you
tells me
should.
like I'm all over the place. So maybe I should get into this like bandwagon of wearing like smoky quartz and everything, and then I can like chill and be like cool.
Alright, so are we on to me?
Yes, ma'am.
I've got a few crystals. Well, I've got a shit ton of. Sorry, I'm gonna try to censor myself, but I have a whole lot of crystals. But I'm gonna share a few that are my favorites. One I do not have is a lapis lazuli. Well, I have really itty bitty jewelry ones, but I'm really looking for like a good chunk of lapis lazuli because it's just a crystal I really want, and also jade, which kind of ties in with kind of our Asian heritage on my husband's side and my child's side. So some of the crystals I have with me, and this one is just because it's really pretty. It's goldstone, and it's cut into a star. Can you guys see it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make it so I can actually see that I'm showing you guys. I got this at Black Market Mineral Store, and they have a really cool amount of stones. And what I like about this one, for visual sake, is I think you guys can see the glitteriness of it.
Yep.
I love that.
I was actually close to buying a goldstone today. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
it's
but
okay.
actually, the guy at the shop actually said it was kind of one of very few man-made crystals,
Yeah, it is.
which I thought was really interesting. But they're really glittery.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, shiny.
I didn't
Alright.
hear about man-made crystals until like last year sometime, and I'm like, what? People make crystals? Yeah, I was really like dumbfounded by it.
Because they're pretty. I don't know.
I didn't know. Like, I knew that crystals could be imitated by glass. Like, I knew that, but I didn't know like people made crystals, like man-made crystals. Like, I didn't get that.
I think they generally try to replicate how it's done, I think, anyways, how it's done by the Earth, but just sped up because natural crystals take forever to make. So, all right, moving on. One of the crystals that I've found to be a really strong vibe from, and I do have a tendency to collect black crystals, is my obsidian sphere. And this has a lot of really pretty intense energy, and it's kind of, I would use this mostly for like shadow work, and it's very intense, so I can't use it on like a super regular basis or anything because it actually will give me like a bit of a headache. But to counteract this, and I also have a, what is it called? It's another black one that you get arrowheads. Help me out, people.
Onyx?
Yeah.
Labradorite? I don't know.
No, it's
Oh,
I just had a brain
it's at the
fart.
tip of my tongue.
What was that, Amanda?
I said I just had a brain fart.
Yeah, me too.
Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, it's
Actually, I think this might be onyx, not obsidian. I'm getting them confused because I have an obsidian and onyx, but they're both very intense. So
I heard like the darker crystals have like a really harder energy, and I think it's obsidian or one of the obsidians or onyx that you shouldn't use that often because it would have like counter effects to their
hence the headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. One of the ones I've used a lot in the past is the selenite egg, and I got this from Kimmy back in the day. And something I didn't know, but Nico Scarlet Moon actually told me, is that if they get wet, the crystals can shrink, and it affects it. I think you can see with the light that it has a semi-clear. And this is a little smaller than when I got it. And to round out the grounding discussion, my creepy little hematite skull. It's very heavy, even though it's very tiny. Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the light to show better, but obviously it's very grayish and cut man-made cut, but hematite's very, very strong for grounding. So Amanda, get some hematite. Oh, and the selenite egg is for healing, so that's why I've used it quite a lot. Like, I've used it on my back pain and stuff, and it worked pretty well. Anyways,
yeah,
that's it.
No, that's good. Yeah, I really need to get on this like grounding bandwagon. Like I have like the chakra, like I bought the kit, like the chakra kit, and it came with a whole bunch of stuff. And maybe I should just wear red. Oh, well, I have the metatite, like the little dinky one. Like I don't know if I can get it over here, but isn't it like a darker? Yeah, it's this thingy.
It tends to be gray.
Yeah, it's gray and shiny. Mine is at least.
Yeah, that looks like it is.
Yeah, and then I do have snowflake obsidian too sitting over here. I just found that. So.
That's funny.
Yeah, but no, I got the whole root chakra thing, and like I got them for like crystal healing and stuff like that, and just to get myself like a small collection, and that's kind of how I've been working with it because I kind of find studying crystals to be a little bit overwhelming. That's just me though.
Yep, I don't wear something grounding every day. I can tell. Like I'm just all over the place, or I'm like erratic, or crazy.
Oh, that sounds like me every day.
If I don't like. Here, I don't know, like I wear that usually if I'm not wearing the smoky quartz, or I'll just put like I usually put this in my pocket sometimes if I'm not wearing something, tiger's eye, which helps keep things balanced for me. But yeah, I can tell a difference if I don't wear something or have something in my pocket.
I like tiger's eye. I use tiger's eye not to ground, but more protection, like.
It's multi-purpose.
Yeah, and I used mine. I know I gifted mine to my husband's little brother because he was going through some hard times and he needed protection. So I gifted it to him, and he said he's been doing really great with it and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's really good for that.
I know I have a raw piece right here. It's really pretty. I actually find this to be really, really pretty because I like the layers in it.
Yeah.
And like.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, it's just a little chunk. I mean, I went mining from it at the Wisconsin Dells at their mining company. It was, yeah, I was kind of glad that I got raw stones instead of just the tumbled ones. So I feel like I'm talking like a whole bunch.
Okay, and to clarify that the black orb is onyx. I just remembered that the onyx orb, and I have an obsidian teardrop. It's very small because that tends to be a little bit more expensive than the onyx. So yeah, I just thought I'd clear that up.
Yeah, but do you guys have any more questions or topics or whatever to talk about crystals, or do we want to move on?
Did anybody leave any comments or questions?
I do not see anything currently on my Q&A.
There's nothing so far on YouTube either.
Okay. Yeah,
I know that there's 3 people watching. I don't know if it's you guys watching us or what's going on, but I know there's 3 people watching.
We're watching ourselves.
I'm watching on YouTube and on Google, so that would be.
That'd be really funny that we were all watching ourselves, like, to give us views.
Ego trip.
Okay, so I'm assuming we're all good. We can move on now that we're like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next we're gonna pretty much talk about herbs and like our favorite stuffs, and I just have like this little tidbit right here, and yeah. So for herbs, we use them on our path to do spell work, for healing. It's used for smudging. A lot of herbs are used for smudging and cleansing rituals. Charm bags, witches' bottles. I mean, it's kind of it's one of those like tools that we have that we pretty much just use all the time. Like, it's one of our things that we pretty much have, other than candles and incense, which herbs can be made into incense. And then I always forget that I'm first, you guys. I'm sorry. But my favorite herbs right now are cinnamon sticks. Like, I just bought this at the grocery store, and they were actually really cheap. And it was like in the Mexican food aisle, which is awesome.
That's where you can get some of the best stuff. Is the quote unquote ethnic aisles.
Yeah, but no, I really like cinnamon sticks because I don't just like. For me, I made like a whole bunch the other day of like I took cinnamon powder with applesauce and I made them into like little token-looking things, and I put herbs with them. Like for my money ones, I use like mint and a couple other herbs to put it in, and then I use them as like feeding my spells or offerings to the god and goddess or the spirits that I'm working with at the time, and I use that to like feed my spells to keep them going if they're going for longer than just a day. Or I take like the cinnamon sticks, and here, I can actually show you. I don't have string for it, but I'll take red string, and I will tie cinnamon sticks together in an equilateral cross, I think is what you call it, just an equal cross or whatever. Here, maybe if I can get my fingers out of the way. So I like do this, and I'll tie it with red string down the middle, and I'll hang it above my doorways or my windows. It's easier for protection, because I usually do this salt mixture for protection, but my son likes to lick it up off the windowsills. So I found this to be a better way to keep him from getting salt intoxication and stuff like that. So cinnamon is actually one of my favorites because it's multi-purpose. I use it for money, I use it for protection, and it's like I just like the scent of it. Like, I love cinnamon. My husband really hates it.
Clarify, your kid's very young.
My kids are under the age of 2. So yeah, my
kids like a 15-year-old licking the.
No, I do not have a 15-year-old. Dude, I would have had my kid really young if I was 15. Or if my kid was 15, like I would have been like 12. But my next favorite herb I like a lot, I don't actually have it on me, but chamomile. I use it for tea. I use it in a lot of like peace workings or healing. I love chamomile. I need more. Like, I'm almost out. But my substitution are like the from Celestial Tea. I get just the chamomiles and I just break the bags open to use them. It's not as strong as what I would buy. Well, hey, if I run out, that's where I use it from. Like,
that works.
I mean, it works. It's just not as potent as the stuff I get from like Mountain Rose Herbs or some other like herbs
reputable
companies. But I mean, it's not as potent because it's obviously made for tea. So I actually have to spend a lot of time like sitting there with my intent and like asking it for help and pulling the spirit out of it to like help me. So it takes a little bit longer, but it works. I mean, like, if I run out, that's what I do. Another favorite of mine is lavender. I love lavender. And this is, like, last little bit of lavender. I'm so sad. But, no, I like lavender because I use it with my kids. Like, I make sachets a lot for them to sleep. Because my kid, at least my oldest one, who's 1, and he's,
she
like,
breaks it.
Well, he is just really hyper when he goes to bed. Like, he is just beyond.
I wonder where he gets that from.
Probably me or his dad, like, it's one of the two. But I use that a lot for, like, sleeping. I make sleeping sachets. I know I made one for my husband, and that helped him with, I'm not going to say it helps everybody, but my husband does have a little bit of PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. He has it, not, like, super major, but that helps a little bit with it and stuff like that. And I throw a whole bunch of crystals under his pillow, too, and he doesn't even know, so... It gets him to sleep in the middle of the night. But that's the main use I have for lavender. And then other than that, I use mint a lot, but that's mostly for money. I like it for money because it's a really
I like the correlation there.
Well, it's a really deep green, but also it has a really potent smell. And then most of the mint that I get are usually want to be used in money. Like, they don't want to be used for something else. It's always money. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
But I've heard like sayings with like the word mint and money being correlated. I think isn't the mint what makes the money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm not sure if that's why it does, but the most of the mint that I get doesn't want to be used in something else. Like, I just use it primarily for money and money spells. And I do the same thing with like the cinnamon, and I throw the mint in it. Like, I think I already said that. I'm repeating myself. My bad. But yeah, that's pretty much where I stand. I don't have that big of an herb collection yet, but you also need money, so I kind of keep it down to multi-use herbs that will work generally for spell work and stuff like that, and it kind of keeps the cost down. Okay.
Oh yeah, hey.
Thanks for joining.
But I like mint too as well, but I use that for like cooling things off, like cooling tempers down or things like that, or diffusing a situation. One of my favorites is also lavender. I use it in almost everything. This is one. I have like 2 of this size, and that's it left. So I'm gonna have to get more soon because I put this in everything. Like, I love it. But the one I use the absolute most is rosemary, and I use rosemary for protection, for healing. I put this in everything too. I will make a infusion of this and add lavender, and I use it like a smudge spray around the house because I can't burn sage in the house when people are here because they don't like it. But I use rosemary for almost everything. Besides doing a lot of things for protection and healing, I add it to everything. The other thing I've been really into lately for some reason is bay leaves. And
I love bay leaves.
Yeah, they're very good for like quick magic and quick, getting things out there quickly. And I don't know, I used to hate the smell, but now all of a sudden I really like it. So
what does it smell like? I don't think I know.
Like bay?
Yeah.
It's like an oregano thyme mix. I always think of it. Like, I always think it smells like oregano thyme.
Yeah, I like
but
all of oregano.
you're right. I really like bay leaves too. Like, when I do not have anything, I would just buy a whole bunch of bay leaves, and like if I need money, I would write money on it, and then I would burn it in the candle that I was using. Like,
that's a good idea.
It wasn't as potent like a long-term money, but it was like that quick money now kind of spell. Like, it would get me within the week. It would finish me through the week and give me enough money for groceries or to feed my kids and myself and stuff like that. Like, so it wasn't like a long-term solution. It was like a quick minor solution.
Yeah, or I usually, sometimes I'll burn these. I have like a money jar that I'll burn this over to kind of feed it. I also use mugwort a lot for like meditation, and when I'm doing divination, I'll burn mugwort or add it to my candles or make oil out of it. So, yeah. But basically, rosemary. For some reason, it's like rosemary. I go through so much of it, and lavender. So those are my favorites currently. They change quite often. So, yeah.
Carry on to me now. Just before I get into it, I'm just going to let you guys know that we do have an audience. We've had 2 comments so far on YouTube letting us know that people are watching. So.
Awesome.
Yay! Hi.
So now I'm going to jump straight into yeah, hi guys who are watching. I'm going to jump straight into my herb stuff. Now I'm gonna be probably a little bit controversial here, and say I don't tend to use herbs much, but I do have a cheat way of smudging. What I did is I got some sage oil, and some bottles like this, little tiny like perfume bottles, and basically put a few drops of sage oil in, and filled it up with water, and then give it a quick shake, and then just spray it around the room. And it and it kind of just works virtually the same. And I mean, the smell is very important, even like when you've kind of got a few drops in a lot of water.
Sage is very strong.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
My husband doesn't like us burning it because it smells like marijuana. So I'm not allowed to burn it. Well, no, like to him, because he doesn't know the smell. Like he's never been around like the plant or anything, or had people smoke it around him. So he's like, dude, are you smoking pot? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm saging the house like my dad.
Well, what I did basically one day, and it worked quite well for quite a while. I might need to kind of redo it again soon. Is basically in my bedroom, I sprayed the inside, like I sprayed like in the air with this, and then afterwards I kind of lit some incense and stuff before anyone got home, because I was like, I don't want anyone like thinking I've been doing something questionable.
That sounds like
So I lit some incense and
what a
stuff.
teenager would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I have appearances to uphold. I'm a respectable member of the community.
That's too
I
funny.
always feel like that with my husband. Like even though he knows I practice, he's like one of those people that like kind of make fun of me when I do it. Like he's like, "Oh, are you playing witchcraft again?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm playing witchcraft again." Like I don't know what else to say to it, but he doesn't get it, you know. So I always like have to hide what I'm doing. I'm like, "Oh no, yep, and just go away. Just you gotta leave. I can't do it in front of him because I'm like half embarrassed."
I live in a house with my husband, my mother-in-law, and my brother-in-law, and none of them are religious, right?
That's a good
in
thing.
And when I originally met my husband, he was very anti-religion. And when I mentioned about like, paganism and stuff, he was kind of a bit difficult to begin with. But then like, unfortunately, this was a couple of weeks before we were due to get married that he created this issue. But then we kind of worked it out within that like time frame, and now he's not sure what he believes, because I've made some really logical kind of points about
Don't
why
you
I
love how that works?
believe what I believe in. Because the thing is, I find that with paganism, it's like it's so easy to just include it with logic, compared to things like Christianity. So when I've made logical points to him about like, oh, this is why I believe it, this is why, he's just like, all right, yeah, and like he questions, things, and I mean it's good to question things, so, yeah. But we've strayed off topic, quite a lot actually.
We'll do this another week.
It's a really good conversation. Like it's a good, yeah, because I have the same problem too. Like my husband isn't religious, but then again, I always make points, and he's like, I see where you're coming from. Like I understand, I get it.
Okay, my turn. All right, so I'll be perfectly honest. I don't have a lot of herbs. I don't use them all that much. I use oils a lot more. And I'm probably going to make a few people faint. I don't particularly like lavender.
Ah.
I know. It's sad. I don't know. It just kind of smells like medicinal to me. I don't really know why. But I mean, it does not work from putting me to sleep at all. I had a one of those like lavender pillows or whatever. I can't remember who gave it to me, but I tried using it and it just gave me a headache. I was like, nope, not gonna work. One of the herbs I do have on hand and I do plan to use. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Can you guess?
Sage.
Good job. It's white sage, and this was actually given to me by my mom because I was like, she works at a Native American school, and they're very traditional, and they do smudging and all that stuff. I'm like, get sage bundles for me, and I've had them for almost a year now, but I have them, and they're in a baggie because they really are. Sage is ridiculously strong, and I don't know. I can't really smell it at the moment just because I have incense that's stronger. But that is, I think when people think paganism, they think sage and lavender are probably like the two most popular herbs that come up. Sorry, my nose itches now after smelling that. I would say I have a few miscellaneous herbs. I've got some rosemary and lavender, even though I don't really use it. I'm trying to think what else. I think I have like lemon balm or something like that. But I actually have plans on making an herb garden or herb pots, and my parents who are huge gardeners, and they have a crap ton of herbs and just everything. And they're like, so give us a checklist of what you want. And a lot of it is going to be like mint and varieties of mint. Lavender, just because I could, other people could use it. Because I know not everybody can access
I'll take it. I'll take your lavender.
I bet.
I'll send it back. Like my grandma or my husband's grandma, like does a whole bunch of like rosemary and all these other things. I'm like, yeah, just send it to me. I could send it to whoever needs it. Like, what's up?
Yeah. In Washington, everything friggin' grows. For real. You could choose any herb and pretty much grow it. I believe jasmine is a flower, but it like can be kind of used. Okay, so my two go-to smells, I guess, when it comes to like herbs and plants are jasmine and peppermint, and I tend to use that in like oil burners because it relaxes me. It clears the air in a way I think sage probably does for others. So those are kind of like my go-to. And I know it is a little bit, what's the word? Starts with a C. Not confrontational, but controversial. Pot, though I do not smoke it, I do tend to eat the candy that you can make out of it for pain reasons. I do think, and this could be a completely different topic we do later for like drug use and paganism. I think especially as the states legalize it, like Washington has, people who are pagan are now feeling a little bit more comfortable using it in their practice because there's not going to be any legal ramifications from doing it. And I have no problem in doing that if my husband didn't work for the government. So, yeah, that's about it.
I use it too sometimes. I like to use the stems for healing and, like, for some reason, happiness.
Oh, I'm sure it works for happiness.
Yeah.
It's funny enough, the smoke actually makes me ill. Go figure.
I actually was reading about it too. How funny.
There's so many medicinal uses for pot, but again, that we could have a long conversation about.
There's a long drawn-out conversation. But I know the little tidbit that I was reading because I was reading up on flying ointment because that's something I'm like looking into and stuff like that. And they said that.
Yeah.
Flying ointment?
I'm not familiar with that. What that is?
It kind of puts you in a trance state, so you can have your like out of body experiences.
Oh, okay.
So flying witches, like
I get it.
You know, like that's like you talk about the trial. It's when the witches fly on the Sabbath night to go do their like because they couldn't physically go to there, so they would go in the astral plane or in the other world together, and that's where you get the flying witches on the. And they used ointments or oils to actually get into that trance state, kind of like shamans used certain different plants or the poisonous plants to get into a trance state to be lucid and get their, you know what I'm trying to say.
Get their trip on.
Yeah. Well, they specifically said it's not to get your trip on, but it's supposed to put you in that calm, lucid state, and I'm kind of looking at, and they said marijuana was actually either used or smoked to get into that state. Not like to get high, but
been like that for millennia. All right, so, next topic.
Next topic, are you ready to move on? We're rolling?
Yeah, I think so, unless anybody had any other comments.
The only thing I was going to say was with the rosemary, I have a plant on the outside, and I specifically have it to protect my bay window because it's such a big area, and I'm not going to throw a whole bunch of cinnamon sticks up across it because it just doesn't work like that. But I know if you if you believe in the spirits like I do, like the plant has a spirit itself. Like I commune to my rosemary spirit, like the plant spirit, and I'm like, hey, I need you to like protect this whole window. Like, do not let evil come through this. And that's It's really funny because my husband makes fun of me because I talk to my plants, but I do that. It works. I like rosemary in that fact. If you put it out in like by your hearth or by your doors, it will protect, or it can protect you from evil spirits coming into the home. So I like growing that. Every year I always have to get myself a plant for that window specifically. Anybody have anything else? Do we have any questions for this or anything?
We do have a comment on YouTube, but it's relating to what we were talking about earlier about bugs in paganism, and they said it would be an interesting topic to discuss. But obviously we'll be discussing that at a later date, I assume, because we do have our
Yeah,
set
we're
topics at the moment.
taking suggestions and adding it to a very long list of topics we will be discussing.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Yay!
All right.
Okay, so our next topic, which I'm actually really excited to talk about. Okay, so it's going to pretty much be like our divinational tools, any other extra tools that we use for the craft. I don't really have much to say about it other than that's what we're talking about, you guys. So right now, I'm actually really excited because I haven't been like a huge adamant person on tarot. Like, tarot used to daunt me. Like, I hated like thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to learn 78 cards. Oh my gosh. And I have beautiful decks. Well, before I got this particular deck, like it would daunt me. Like, I do like my decks that I have, but they didn't work for me. But until I got a whole bunch of stuff. But until I got this deck, like after I got this deck, I'm like, I get it. I absolutely get tarot now. Like, it's something that I want to do. I mean, not professionally, because I just mess it up because I'm really bad at talking to people. But no, I got this Mythic Dreamers Tarot, and I'm just in love with it. Me and Steven were talking earlier, and I was showing him the cards, and they're just like really vivid, really. This is my favorite card out of the whole entire deck. Is the High Priestess. And they're just really vivid, and like the people look almost real in it, even though they're not. Like, I think they're like photoshopped in there, and then everything
They're
else
digital.
is kind of, yeah, like it's weird. Like, yeah, my husband, I was opening them and I was like flipping through them, and I was literally drooling, and he's like, "Babe, you're drooling." I'm like, and I'm like, see, now you understand. Like, I understand the feeling you get when you get like new car parts, because he does the same things. He'll get brake discs or tires, and he'll be like, yes. I'm like, I finally understand that feeling of getting something that you absolutely like enjoy. And then here's just a couple other pictures. This is the Empress. Actually, I just love these. Like,
It's very
they're
pretty
just really
art.
big. Oh yeah, I love them. Like, and for some reason, these cards actually speak to me. Like, when I actually opened them up and I was flipping through them, like, I could go through and I could be like, oh, the Fool means this to me, and the Magician means this to me, and I could actually go through, and I remembered everything I ever studied, and they didn't scare me anymore for some reason. So I don't know if it's because I've worked with them a long enough time or what, but this deck, I was just like, yeah, I was so excited to get
Intimidating
it.
anymore.
What?
It's not intimidating for you anymore.
Yeah, but it could be the fact that I've just been slowly working at it, and I'll pick it up eventually. Like, I'll pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down kind of thing. And I haven't actually been, like, on top of it. And then the next thing, I got a new Oracle deck, and I really like it. I'm actually really excited that I got it, because it's also that not daunting feeling when I open it up and look at it. This is probably my favorite card so far. It is the Enchanted Oracle deck. That's, like, my favorite card so far. And, I mean, the artwork, I like the whimsical fantasy style cards, but this
Very
isn't
popular deck.
Yeah, like, I like it because it's not overly, what was I trying to say? Like, imaginative, you know? Like, it's not overly fantasized or overdone. And I just kind of like the subtleness of it. But I think that's why I like the Dreamer Tarot, too. But this is something I'm kind of getting into. These are my favorite decks. I do a little bit of reading. They're not too big into my practice. But something I do use a lot is the spirit boards. Like, I love spirit boards. I love pendulum work. Like, that is probably, like, my best area for divination, if I do say so myself. Except lately I've been talking to spirits, and they've been kind of buttsy with me lately because, like, I'll talk to
Another
them.
topic we can get into again.
Yeah, right? Okay, so this is actually my healing pendulum, and it's talking to me right now. But this one I use for healing. I do a lot with my husband for, like, Reiki and stuff like that, and this is just easier to channel into him. And, like, how you do pendulum healing is you put it over the spot where they work, and if they're hurting or something, it'll literally, hold on, but it'll literally spin around in circles. This is what it'll do. And then you'll be communing with your spirits or whatever, guides or whatever you do. And I just talk to spirits, or I connect to his personal, like, angel that's attached to him because I know there's one, and we talk a lot, actually, about him. So it's very interesting. But he has a specific place in his back. Like, I'll put it over. This will swing. And eventually he will start feeling better because I'm, like, it's kind of like Reiki in a sense. But that's how I do that. And it'll eventually stop, and it'll go into a straight point, and it won't swing, it won't do anything. It'll go to the straight point, and then you move it up the body, and then it would start rolling again where he's aching and stuff like that. And on top of using energy work with him, I do, like, massage therapy and stuff like that, trying to make that spot better. But other than that one, this guy actually has a spirit attached to it. Like, I'm not asking a different spirit to come and attach to my pendulum. This one actually has a life of its own. And when I talk to it, I specifically talk to that spirit inside of this guy. If this one is the first pendulum I've ever gotten, and it's amethyst, obviously. I love it. But if I do spirit board work with this one, I have to ask the spirit that dominates the amethyst to leave because he usually gets in the way of everything and kind of, like, makes mixed messages if I use it with a board. But other than that, I like the board and the pendulum a lot, if you can tell. I do a lot of work with them.
Yeah, you do have a video, I believe, on your personal channel about your spirit board. So if anybody...
Yeah, if anybody wants to go check it out, you can go check it out there. I pretty much showed you how I made one of my spirit boards. I also have, like, the enchanted board or whatever like that too, and it's a circle. Yeah, the psychic board. I like that. I actually like it a lot. I cannot use the little, like, circle piece. I don't know if it's called a planchetta on it because it's not a Ouija board, but I think it's called the divining circle. And I can't use it because, like, even though it will move for me, I just don't like the sensation of it moving. Like, it freaks me out slightly, and it stops my divination work. Well, like, I understand, like, the spirits don't creep me out, but the sense of it moving by itself, like, it freaks me out slightly. So, yeah. So I don't use it. I just use the pendulum because it doesn't, I guess it's because that's the first thing I picked up in my craft. Like, for divination, I just started working with the pendulum, and that's what I've been doing for most of my, yeah, that's what I've been doing.
All right, so Michelle?
I also use a pendulum quite a lot. Like, that's pretty much what my main form of divination. Other than I do a lot of scrying as well with water and flames, candle flame. But, like, here's this one.
Oh, that's really pretty.
That I made for my ancestors. It's rose quartz, and really I use this one, you know, to talk to family pretty much. And speaking of the planchette, my daughter actually prefers planchette when working with the spirit board. I really don't like it. That, and I'm always thinking, like, she's moving it. But yeah, this is pretty much all I do. I'm totally not into tarot. It's not my thing. It just never. I'm just like, no. It just never clicked with me.
It doesn't for everyone.
I'm just like, I'm the only one I know that doesn't like it. It doesn't work for it. To me, it's like a deck of regular cards. It doesn't. Nothing clicks with me. So, I mean, and I haven't worked with them much. I haven't tried much with it. It's just never something that, like, called out to me. But I get a lot more answers with my pendulum. I make my own spirit boards too, so I don't like using commercial ones. But what? Oh, well, I like to use yours. Yes, my daughter. We got one. She got one from Salem that actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that is actually really, really nice, and it works pretty good. But like I said, she prefers a planchette. But other than that, like I said, I do scrying and I like water, flames. Sometimes I'll do I'll read like beans or stones or like coffee beans or stones, like to get
Well, that's
answers for
interesting.
certain things. Kind of like reading tea leaves, but I don't do that. So, those are just a few things, but mostly my pendulum.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the pendulum, but I definitely understand what you're like feeling with the tarot because like it took me. Sorry, I totally moved you guys, but it took me forever. Like I would pick up decks and I'd be like, oh, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. But after I got this deck, I was like, oh, I finally get it. So maybe it's just trying to find a deck that you connect to.
Yeah,
I
and
tend
there's
to
like thousands of
recommend everyone. Yeah, I tend to recommend everyone at least get one that they are at least interested in their art, at the very least, just to educate what it's about. That's about it. So, Steven, how about you?
Okay, I'm going to go with the simplest one to explain first, and that is this, which I bought today, like my crystal. And it's basically it's my crystal ball.
I want it.
It's pretty.
I like
It is.
It's a very deep blue. I do have a clear one as well, but I don't have that with
There we
me.
go.
I bought this one today because I thought it would be easier to focus with this one than the clear one, just because obviously you can't see through it, and I mean it doesn't reflect as much either. So it's kind of I like it, and it called out to me today, and I was
like
in the
it.
shop and well.
I can understand why.
I was in the new age shop in the town, and I kept kind of coming back to it, and then walking away, and then coming back to it, and I'm just like, I have to
That's
buy
when you
it.
know you need to get it.
Yeah.
Is it just glass or is it a crystal?
I think it is. I mean, it was too cheap to be to be real crystal, I think.
Okay, so it's probably glass.
So I'm assuming it is glass, but it's very solid. It's quite heavy. I do have a pendulum, not on me, but I do have a pendulum. I stopped wearing it a while ago. I used to wear it around my neck all the time. And I stopped wearing it a while ago. I've never really used it, but that might be something I should get into, because like area I find so like scrying and I mean tarot is my main one, and I have this deck with me, and it was my first ever deck, and the cards are literally the size of my hand, like that. But for example, there's the back of one of the cards.
What
Which
is
I
it?
quite like. It's just kind of a commercial kind of one. It's by a publishing company called Top That, but it's kind of a UK thing, I think. But that's the box anyway. But yeah, I quite like the artwork as well. With this one, I mean, it's not as good as Amanda's, but it's like that is like the Earth,
Oh, that's
and that's
really
kind of
pretty.
yeah, that's one of my favorites. Then we
You'll have to
have
link me that
the
later.
Fool is on there as well. Quite like, and my other favorite is for this particular deck is the Hanged Man, just because I love that. Just got that like, and I found another one that I quite liked as well. But yeah, the Devil as well is particularly I quite like it. The Inferno appeal.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. So like I've said, divination is kind of my main area. I haven't really got into oracle cards much yet. I do have a deck of oracle cards. In fact, I have two. I have a Celtic oracle and an angel oracle. But I don't like using the angel oracle because I feel like it delves too much into Christianity, which I as a rule tend to avoid. But I mean that might be another topic, mixing religions with paganism maybe. But I mean. Yeah, so kind of tarot cards, scrying, stuff like that I tend to enjoy. Plus, I find that like meditation and scrying can kind of come hand in hand at times. Sometimes you can find answers through meditation that you might not find by doing, other things as well, like searching within, basically, without knowing you're actually searching. Yeah, so in divination. Anyway, on to you. I passed.
Okay. Alright, so though it's not technically divination, one of the biggest tools I use, other than essential oils, which are in another room, is my go-to incense, which is Indian temple incense, and it just smells divine. You should get it if you have never smelled it before. It it's definitely one of those. It's very strong smelling, but it kind of zones you out. It's not chemical smelling either, which is all other incense seem to smell chemical to me. So, as many of you may know, I am very much into tarot and oracle, and I have a ridiculous amount of them. I just randomly pulled some. I was looking for my Kuan Yin oracle, but it's hiding, apparently. It doesn't want to be found. I would say that is my favorite oracle deck, just because it is gorgeous. My go-to tarot deck currently, and I tend to use it mostly for past life readings and stuff, is the Book of Shadows. I think that's the So Below. I can't read that small print.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's a As Above as well. And I'll just show you some of the cards. Trying to see how. Okay, there. And I've been working with tarot for a couple of years now, and oracle. And I first got my first deck in like when I was around 22, 23 or something, and it was an Egyptian deck, and I really it called to me, but then I kind of just dropped it because there's just life got in the way. And then a couple years ago, pretty much right around the time I started YouTubing, I just jumped headfirst into all of it. And if you follow my channel, you will see that it's taken over my life a bit. But I'm a collector of the decks as well as a practitioner of reading cards. I think this might have been my first oracle deck. If it wasn't, it was pretty close to it, and it's one of my favorite art styles as well. She's a great artist, and it's the Oracle of Light and Shadow or something like that, or Shadow and Light. And some of the cards are, I like the back to it. I don't know why. It just, keyholes always make me think of like the 80s. I don't know why. Just don't mock me. Just some of the art. I don't know. I tend to not do much else divination-wise except for the cards. I have pendulums hiding out somewhere of different crystals. I have not really used them. I do have runes, and they're also just kind of hiding out. I use crystals a little bit, but not a lot. I'm gonna knock a bunch of stuff over. Trying to think of anything else I use divination-wise. For scrying and stuff, it's very difficult because of my visual impairment and stuff. And it's hard to even do readings and stuff, but I have a big-ass magnifier that helps me with that. I believe the most recent Oracle deck I got is my Halloween Oracle deck, and it's just badass by itself. Show a few cards. I don't know. I'm definitely someone who tends to be a person who likes the darker aspects of witchcraft and divination. I don't know. It's just part of my nature, I guess. I also have a psychic board, and I do use it on occasion, and it's mainly just for personal use. I have not tried using it with anybody else. I haven't used it with my husband or anything like that. I don't think I probably will either. I would like to get into doing the pendulum. I mean, I have them. I mean, what's the point of having them if I don't use them, you know? But it's definitely not my go-to divination. And as for any other tools I have, like I said, it's the incense is my main, and as well as the essential oils. But I'm also a big flame person, so anything to do with flames. like candles and stuff, is also something I use fairly regularly. So yeah, that's all of my stuff.
Is there any like questions that we have in at all? I can't see any, so
I don't,
or
I
at
don't
least
think we have any yet right now.
yeah, like
One thing I want to point out personally is that if I could, I would have like an altar with like loads of tools on, like everything that I could possibly ever
Right.
need. Um, but obviously I can't do that. I don't even have a small altar. Like I have to like temporarily set up like the kitchen table to to do any rituals or anything or something similar because I just can't I can't have a permanent altar anywhere in the house
Right.
because like obviously because if I had it in like the living room it'd be kind of in your face. My husband refuses to allow anything like that in the bedroom, partly because I like a space and partly because he doesn't like the idea of anything like that is connected to like religion or spirituality or anything in a bedroom where like other things happen.
You sneak it in
To put it
with
politely.
crystals or something.
Well, I have like a drawer under the bed, like because we each have like there's one drawer under the bed that has like there's two drawers under the bed. One of them has like all our like bedding in, and the other one is basically for storage for me because I don't have much storage in there. So basically, all of my like crystals or you know anything like that is all in that drawer under the bed. My tarot cards are in there. My like Book of Shadows is in there and all that lot. That's all in there. So that's kind of amusing that I kind of have that, and it's just kind of to keep things safe because no one goes in there. So it's like when it's in there, I know that it's not going to get like pulled open and people are going to be like, "Ooh, what's this?" You know. So it's kind of a safe spot to keep things.
Right.
But I mean, my husband understands it all, and he kind of knows that I kind of do that stuff. But my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law don't really. So I kind of I tell people if it's necessary, and I don't find it necessary to tell them, and I think it's best to probably be avoided, at least for now.
That's fine.
Yeah, people always look at mine's right in my living room. So
Like,
I have some family will come over and look at it like, what the hell is this? So I usually have to hide the pentacle. Obviously, I usually have to put that away, but the rest of it I can like explain away, you know. But yeah, mine's right there.
oh you can
mine's just like a 2 by 2 feet square side table. It's like over here, but I don't give a. I don't care if people care if they see I've got a wind chime with a pentacle on it right outside my office door. So if they don't know before they come into my house or into my office, at the very least, it's gonna be pretty much in their face once they walk in. I have no qualms about hiding it. My parents are pagan and naturalists, and my sister's like a vegan. I know that's not a religion, but she's a very liberal thinker. So in general, my family could give two shits if what I do, and my friends all know I don't hide it. I'm just like, if you don't like it, GTFO, you know. It's just like, I don't care.
Well, you guys, like, I like how Steven wants an altar. I'm like, you can have mine. You can take my space and just have it. Because, like, I find it really funny. I have 3 in the bedroom, which is really funny because I have, like, my element altar right now. I took, like, my god and goddess statue out because I'm, like, in a weird situation with them right now. So I have an altar for my elements. I have a divination table. I don't even use it. I just have a divination table where it stores all my divination skills. And then I have, like, my working altar. But the funny thing is, I share my room with my kid, so I never actually do a ritual in my room next to my altar. I always have to gather my junk up and all my stuff and all my crystals, whatever I'm using, and take them out to the kitchen table and then kick my husband out of the house because I can't do a ritual in front of him. Because either either, it's really funny because I've explained this to be, he either walks into my circle, like if I cast it in a circle, he either walks into it and just like, he's oblivious to my candles sitting around me. He'll either walk into it or be talking to me or be like watching something really weird that my focus will get like off. So I like send him out for like a 10-minute smoke break so I can do whatever. So I can do this real quick. Yeah, but.
What's up, Steven?
Me and my husband have agreed that when we get our own place kind of thing, the idea is that we're going to get our own place with both a basement and like an attic, so that I can have the basement as my kind of spiritual room and he can have the attic for his YouTube videos.
There you go.
That works.
I guess you get to borrow his attic for YouTube videos since you make your own.
I can film my YouTube videos in my basement if I need to.
Yeah.
As well.
I keep telling my husband I need a 4-bedroom. Like, we need a 4-bedroom house so I can have, like, my own room. Because he already
You always need an extra room for how many kids you have. If you have 2 kids, you need 3 bedrooms outside of your own.
I have 3 bedrooms, but I want the 4th bedroom for my stuff, like an office area. Like, I mean, like, I need more of an office area than I need a bedroom. But, like, my husband already claimed that, like, the garage and the extended garage and whatever else.
Screw the garage.
We don't even have a garage yet, but he already claimed it. And then he's like, you either can get the basement, like that either can be your thing, or you can get like a room. And then he's like, you belong in the kitchen. Like that's just his joke. But I'm not gonna set my altar in the kitchen because like
unless you're in the kitchen, which there really isn't any reason for you to be in the kitchen.
But I'm not. Like the thing is, but it's really funny because he's like, well, you're gonna have to keep it somewhere like not everyone will see because like the people that do walk in, like right now my altars are in my bedroom. But, like, I have babysitters to watch my kids every now and then, and they'll walk in and they'll be like, walking out, not even getting the kid, just walking out. And I'm like, okay, my bad, like, whatever. Yeah, it was the faces that got me.
Okay, so we covered all the areas we needed to cover, or?
Yeah, well, we were kind of talking about tools because I was like left with their divinational section. Like they're like, oh, let's talk about tools and divination. So like that's why we're talking about altars. I'm assuming. So I mean, we can end this whenever you guys are ready to end this.
Yeah, I think we've covered what
we covered all the main points that we wanted to talk about.
Did any of you guys have any final thoughts, Michelle, Steven?
Nope.
Do you have any questions that were asked during?
You're always like so like monosyllabic. You're like, nope, I'm good.
Steven, did you get questions on your end?
The only kind of comment really that went to kind of questions and topics is the kind of drugs and paganism thing, and I think we said we were going to do that in a future video.
We'll do that.
So.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll get that. We got it. We got it on that. Okay, so I guess we are going to wrap up here. I am so glad that we got to do this, you guys. And for all our viewers that popped in and out, because I watched you guys pop in and out, it told me how many viewers. But I hope to see you guys next time we do this. Until next time, you guys, bye!